Look, we got our pro. Hello, mate. Nobody else was available.
Got a substitute.
Here he comes.
Here he comes.
Everyone's favourite Welshman.
Number 1 Welsh.
Yeah, it's a great golf course.
Apart from the fact it's now starting to drizzle and rain. That's so good.
Oh, Jordan. The 10th hole is a par 5. It's 519 yards from this tee today. There's a ditch that runs all the way down the right hand side of the hole, and there's also a ditch which you need to carry for your second shot to leave yourself a wedge into the green. First swing of the day, and a new driver, it was always going to go left.
Can't see him down.
So it's 170 yards to carry the ditch, and it's 211 yards to the bunker, so somewhere in between. I've hit a decent strike, which should be somewhere between the water and the bunker. So the pin looks like it's actually tucked behind the bunker on the left hand side, but it's actually not. There's a bit of room. There's actually more room left than it looks, and I would have been slightly more aggressive had I known. So I've hit it onto the top level. This putt is going to break from the right. It's just getting it to the top of the slope and sort of letting it feed down to the hole. Unfortunately, I didn't hit it hard enough, and it's just come up short and a little bit left for the target. I've seen Jordan putt from slightly further away from me on a similar line, and this putt is definitely right edge. Just started it too straight, maybe even pulled it a fraction, and that's a disappointing 6 to start with. The 11th hole is a 173 yard par 3 today, and if we take you up to the green, you've got 2 big bunkers on the left hand side, and this green has actually got sort of 3 levels to it, so there's 3 tiers to it. The pin today is on the middle tier, so it's important to try and get it onto the middle tier. I'm going to try and hit a 4-iron, nice low, keep it up the left hand side, don't want to miss it right. A little punch and a shortened follow through, try and keep that ball flight down. I've hit it exactly where I'm aiming, nice and low, but didn't quite get to the top tier. This putt is breaking quite severely from the left hand side, and the pace is really important. Keep it on the middle tier and try and 2-putt it ideally. Always a little low, and the wind has got in, it's run onto that sort of awkward length putt. So this putt is very similar to the first putt I had, and I'm just reading it just sort of right half of the hole. I've started it way too straight for some reason, not sure why, and it's obviously missed on the left. Work to be done and desperately need a par. So this is the 12th. It's the hardest hole on the course. It's playing 451 yards today. You'll see as we go up the hole, there's a couple of bunkers up there. To carry the furthest one is 260 yards. The wind is off the left-hand side as well and slightly into. I'm going to try and shape my driver and use the wind. Start it left of the trap and cut it over the top of it. Started it left of where I wanted it to, and it really needs to go. Being uphill and into the wind, it's right on my limit today. So I've picked out a 9-iron. It's a very similar distance and a similar shot to the one on the 10th, so I'm really going to commit to this shot. It's come out with literally no spin, and it's flown to the back of the green, unfortunately. It's carried 10 yards further than I really wanted to. The rows are doing a bit of work to the back of the green, so I had to take a drop and go to the drop zone at the front of the green. So a little uphill chip. I've put a 7-iron. It's all uphill. Slightly from the right hand side, it should break to the left hand side. I want to keep it below the hole ideally, give myself a putt for a par. So from this distance I'm hitting it dead straight and firm, so it doesn't have any opportunity to break. So this is a short par 5, 485 yards from this tee. There's a bunker on the right. I'm just trying to keep it left of that ideally. There is out of bounds on the left hand side as well.
Ball, mate. Ball.
At this moment, I'm a bit concerned it's not got the carry, but thankfully it has. So this is the view after you've hit your tee shot. Down the left-hand side is a ditch, and there's also out of bounds. The green's well guarded as well. It's not a bad hole if you can hit a decent drive and get it over the top of the ridge, but normally I'm too far back, and I find this hole quite tricky. I've not quite hit it far enough, and here I'm on a downslope in the rough, so I'm just laying it up now short of these bunkers. You can see, leave myself around about 100 yards into the green. So this is a terrible shot. I've been too cautious. Gareth has hit a shot which is landed near the pin and actually got into the water hazard, and I've just hit it way right and short, being way too protective, and it's a terrible golf shot. This is an area I need to improve in 2024. Just off the greens, I've left Jordan's ball there. This one's a ridge sort of halfway down, and just need to get it to the top of the ridge and let it feed down to the hole. Unfortunately, this putt was slightly slower than I thought, and I've left myself another awkward sort of 5-6 foot putt for par. When you've missed a couple, the last thing you want is another putt of a similar length. I'm going to hit this absolutely dead straight. Didn't think I hit a bad putt, but unfortunately it's another drop shot. 14th hole is 319 yards, and this is the view from the tee. Up the left hand side of the greenkeeper's compound. The green is round the left hand side, round the corner of this hedge that I'm just pointing at now. Ideally you want to hit your drive between the bunker and the hedge, but probably today the bunkers are out of range, it's straight into the wind, so I'm going to hit it out to the right hand side and leave myself sort of a mid-iron into the green. You can drive this green in the summer when there's no wind. So I've hit a 5-wood, it's into the wind, nice and high and spinny, and it's well short of the bunkers. Always try and hit it into the widest part of the fairway. I've got 141 yards, and I'm right in between a 7 and 8 iron. I've chose the 8 iron in the end, hit a decent strike, and it looks like it's all over it, and you can't see it come down, but Jordan's confirmed that it's a fraction short and probably should have hit the 7 iron. Here's Jordan's approach to the same hole. I'll definitely get him on the channel at some stage in the next year. I'm bored of his begging, if I'm honest. My ball's on the front of the green. I've seen Gareth's putt, which really helped me here. I thought the putt was going to break from sort of right to left and maybe a foot outside right, but his stayed very straight, so I've actually gone dead straight. This putt is uphill as well, so I need to make sure I hit it to the hole. And that long birdie putt has got me back to 2 over par. The 15th hole is 319 yards, and when the wind's in a different direction in the summer, I've actually driven this green a couple of times. Today, the ideal tee shot will be short of the bunkers, leaving ourselves sort of a lofted iron into the green. I've hit it right on the bottom of the 5-wood, lucky to carry the rough, and it's not turned out too badly in the end. 129 yards, I've chosen a little 9 iron, and I'm actually going to play it into the wind, so I'm going to try and draw it in rather than using the wind, try and control the distance a little better, and this is all over the pin. I'm thinking back-to-back birdies as this is in the air. It looked better from the fairway than it does from the green. It's obviously a little bit short, so I'm reading this just outside my left, your right as you look, but probably not too far outside the hole, a couple of inches. I've hit a rubbish putt really. I've started it way too far outside the line. Pace was decent. It's an easy 4, but that was a really good birdie opportunity, and I feel like I've sort of wasted one there. Another strong par 3. This is the 16th hole. The green goes round to the left hand side, so my ideal shot here, I'm going to hit it out right and try and draw it in towards a pin. I've chosen a 4 iron. It needs to be hit well to get it back to that pin because it is 196 yards today. Just slightly tugged it. The strike's good. Hoping it's going to catch the left edge of the green. The positive is we've missed that massive bunker. We've just stayed on the top slope. This is quite an awkward little chip. I'm going to try and land it and be confident on the flat surface. I don't want to land it on the downslope and run it down there. I'm going to try and land it right down there onto the flat surface and let it feed to the hole. Really good strike, and I'm really pleased with this shot. It's about to appear, and that's a good chance of making a par now. Firm and straight, just tidying up for my par. That up and down keeps me at 2 over par, and we move on to the 17th. This hole's 407 yards, and this is the tee shot you're faced with. There's bunkers on the right hand side. It's also banked up on the left hand side. If you get a good drive here, you just come up short of the water and have a little pitch onto the green, but it's important you find the fairway. Hit driver, just trying to hit it slightly right to left, fractionally pulled it. The strike's decent. I'm hoping it will sort of carry the mounds and the ridges and be on the flat area, but unfortunately it wasn't. I'm on the side bank, so I've hit 50-degree wedge, trying to make sure I miss it right, not left, because it's the longest carry over the water. Miss it right, there's a bit of room. Not a very good strike, but thankfully I've got enough distance to actually carry that water and leave myself a little chip. This is an area of my game I've really been working hard on. I've pulled out a 7-iron. I'm going to get it onto the surface as quick as possible, slightly right, and let it kick to the left-hand side. Ideally leaving it left of the hole and below the hole. Played it really well, really pleased with the strike. It's responded how I wanted it to, and it's run up there really close, and I should make my par. Josh was really playing well on this back nine, and he actually was 1 under par. This one was one of his birdie putts he made. Jordan tapping in for a 5-net 4 in the hole, which counted for the team event. And I've got the formality of a little tap in. Didn't think I'd say that a couple of years ago. Just finishing off a par to stay 2 over.
So was that Josh and Jordan?
Yep.
The 18th hole is 423 yards and it plays uphill. It's stroke index 9, unbelievably. And if we just take you up there, there's some bunkers on the right-hand side. You want to be just left of them, sort of the clubhouse in the distance is the line. There is out of bounds left as well. And the real difficulty is the second shot to the green, which you'll see in a minute. I'm hitting driver off the tee, trying to keep it down the left-hand side. Just pulled it fractionally, but thankfully it's quite wet down there, so it's not going to run out of bounds and should leave me a decent approach into the green. I was in between clubs here, but I've hit the 8-iron instead of the 9, just to make sure I get it up to the ridge. There is some bunkers short. Anything short will run off the green. A miss left is absolutely dead as well. Hit a really good shot, and I'm happy with where I finished. So I'm left with 20 foot down the hill, reasonably quick, and I'm just trying to get it to the hole, really. Not going to give the hole away. I'm going to hit almost dead straight if I can. I've concentrated on the line too much and not hit it. If I hit that putt, it probably goes in, but it should be an easy par now. And I've finished 2 over par, 38 shots for the back 9 at TREVOSE, which I'm pleased with, particularly after the start. Jordan with his par attempt, and he's holed it. So that's the back 9 at TREVOSE complete. Thanks for watching the video. Please hit that subscribe button, like the video and comment below. Thanks for watching.